Can you hear me now, team?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, laptop hanged and I restarted the laptop. I'm opening everything. I'll share my screen. Give me some time. Okay. So now question to all of you. What's the difference between, as of now, we heard about blanket purchase agreement and contract purchase agreement, right? Correct?
Yes.
And
Yes.
now I'm
Yes.
talking about procurement contract. What is the difference between agreement and contract? Agreement and contract.
Contract will have terms and conditions.
Yeah, of course. And in the agreement also, we can mention terms and conditions.
Yeah. I think contract is more like a legal document between the parties.
Correct. Correct. Agreement is a kind of mutual discussion, and coming to one point, agreement is like that, but contract is more of a legal. Okay, that's why this procurement contract model is especially in US is used by the government companies and federal companies. Okay, like a road contract, bridge contract, or mining contract. Okay, and for such type of contracts, we cannot create an agreement. Correct? We have to create a contract in that case. Okay, so when we create a contract with our supplier, then that is called as a procurement contract, and which is also called as a buy contract. Okay, we can also create a sales contract also, nothing but sale contract, the contract between you and customer, the contract between company and customer, that's called as a sale contract. So if you understand the buy contract model, nothing but procurement contract model, you can also create a sell contract also easily. Same process only one difference is there. That difference I will tell you. Okay, that means if you know one module, then you're able to work on the two modules, both procurement contracts and sale contracts. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'll give you overview first of all. Later I will create and show you the contract. Okay. And there should be a separate task list called as contract management. And here two app icons are there. One place is to create the contracts, and another place is to create the terms and conditions for the contract. So here we create terms and conditions, and here we are going to create a contract. In that contract, we'll mention the terms and conditions, which is created here. Okay. First of all, I'll show you the contract. So from the task list, I'm selecting a create contract option. And we are creating contract for which company, for which business unit. Okay, what type of contract is that? Whether that is a buy contract or whether that is a sale contract. What type of contract you are creating, buy or sell contract? Okay, in case of buy and sell, there are different types of contracts are there. So if you select the buy, in the contract you don't want to mention any line information, or you want to mention some line information. Okay, or you want to mention the agreement line information. Okay, so we'll see what is the difference between these types. Okay, I'm selecting buy lines. First we'll discuss buy lines. And what is a contract number? It's a dynamic number, user defined. You can enter your own number. And then primary party is the supplier. We are creating a contract with our supplier. In case of sell contract, we select the party as customer. So it's a contract between this person and this company. Okay, contract duration. And we are creating this contract for next 10 years. And since we selected lines, we have to select the master ordination, because application is going to identify the items from the master ordination. So select the master ordination. Since we selected lines, we need to enter the item information at the line level. So that item information we're going to derive from this master ordination, which is operations in demo instance. And save and continue. Okay, and the name of the contract. And you can see the type of the contract, and the intent is buy. In case of sale contract, the intent is sell. Okay, master ordination. And what type of contract is this, whether risk or medium or high. And right now the status is draft. And what are the payment terms? 90 days. What are the freight terms? Collect, FOB, No FOB, I'm not entering anything. Carrier, the shift method is applicable, enter the carrier. Otherwise, ignore it, optional. And since we selected lines, you have to provide the line information here. You have to provide a line information here. Okay. So coming to the lines information, two options are there. One is we can select the item that we already created in the application, or else we can enter the product description also. Line number 1. And if you select the item, suppose if you select the item, you can enter the item from the master that you created. I'm selecting an item randomly. And if you click on create another, if you don't want to enter the item name here, you can enter item description also. So if you select free form, instead of item, if you select free form, you can enter the item product description instead of the item. Okay. If you select item, then you should enter the item. If you select free form, you can enter the item description. I have added only one line. Only one line I have added. And so for that line, I am entering the details. So this product, what is the supplier site and supplier address, and what is the unit price and the line quantity and the ship to location, need by details. Okay. So all these details we can enter, and I will tell you why we are entering all these details. Okay. Now I'm navigating to the third tab, contract terms. So as I mentioned, we can create a terms and conditions. That terms and conditions we can add to this contract. And Oracle provided terms and conditions template is there. Right now I'm selecting that. And later I'll show you how to create our own terms template. And this terms template is a combination of sections and classes. What is meant by section and what is meant by class, I'll show you. I just selected a template called Facility Service Agreement. This is the template name. It's available in the demo instance. Facility Service Agreements. Okay. I'm selecting this refresh button so that all the class information get loaded. So you'll see how many sections here. 3 sections are there: general terms, environmental and safety, payments and insurance. 3 sections are there. Okay. Under each section, you'll see classes. You'll see classes. These are the classes: introduction, services, relation of parties. Suppose if I select payment terms in insurance, then you can see this is the third section. This is the third section. And we can also give the numbering for these sections and classes also. You see section number 1 and the class number 1.1, 1, 2 and 1, 3, 1, 4. Okay. And in case of payments and insurance, this is section number 3. And under that, this is class number 1 and class number 2. Class number 2, 2 sections, 3.1 and 3.2. Okay. Insurance. What about insurance? And what about price and payment? Okay. And out of all this content, there is only one variable. So as I mentioned in the sourcing model classes, we can configure variable. What is meant by variable? We can quickly fill the information in the variable. So we don't have time to read through all this matter, right? So we can create a variable, and this variable is varied from contract to contract. So if you click on that icon, it will show you the insurance amount is being created as a variable. What is the insurance amount of this contract? I'm entering some number and click on OK. Click on OK. Right now there are no variables. So we quickly fill the variable information and we proceed to the next step. Okay. If we don't have a variable, then we have to see where the dynamic information to be entered, like an insurance or payment term, because payment term also can be different from contract to contract, and insurance amount is also different. And some of other variables also could be different from contract to contract. Okay. Next, coming to the fulfillment. Okay. So as part of this contract, suppose the best example is, or maybe the best example for everybody to understand house construction also. We can take house construction. House construction has different phases. Okay, foundation phase and ground floor construction, first floor construction, or whatever different phases are there. Okay, so what are the different fulfillments that can be configured in this contract? Suppose if you take IT project. If you take IT project, in IT project also, different phases are there to deliver a project. Okay, that can be configured as a fulfillments. Suppose let's take you have taken a mining contract from your supplier. Some mining contract, some road contract. Okay, or let's take government only. Okay, you got a bridge contract from your government. So the government is going to release you the payment all at once. The government is going to release you the payment all at once. If for bridge contract, no, right? It's based on the construction and based on the phases. Okay, that can be configured as a fulfillments. So if you create a fulfillment here, and according to the fulfillment date, I'll show you. I'm selecting the fulfillment number, and we are creating this fulfillment for the first line. For the first line, and click on save and close. I'm creating fulfillment number 1 for the line number 1. Okay, and maybe since we have taken an item, don't look for the meaning of this item. So maybe you can. It would be better if I directly take an example of the bridge contract. I'll go back to the lines, and if possible, I would like to correct this line, or else I will add a new line. I'm selecting free form and bridge construction. Okay. Click on OK. I'm not entering anything in the bottom. I'm directly going to the fulfillments. I'm creating a first fulfillment now. I'm creating fulfillment number 1 for the line number 1 and click on save and close. And there is a section called line number 1 and fulfillment number 1. And I entered some comments. And I'm entering who is the buyer. I think it's not okay. Who is the buyer I'm entering. We didn't enter supplier at the line level. We entered, right? It should default to the fulfillment area.
Address. Supplier is.
Supplier is also not defaulted. Which is not. Is it because of the inbound? Direction is inbound. Is it because of that? What is direction? I'll tell you. I created item based line. And I want to check the behavior for the item based line while creating the fulfillment. And I'm creating the fulfillment number for the line number 2. I didn't enter the line number right. Fulfillment number 1. The line number, there is no 2 here. Let me check.
Yeah,
first.
try saving once before coming to this page. Is it required?
Correct. You are right. I saved it maybe. It's going now. Okay. And the supplier got enabled. For the item based supplier got enabled, you see. For the non-item supplier is not enabled. So this is in case of buy lines. We will see for others how it's behaving. Okay. Let me continue with my explanation, and when creating one more type, then we will observe. Okay. For the item based line, I'm able to see the supplier, and I'm able to enter the supplier address also. And what is the ship to location? What is the bill to location? Ship to organization. And bill to location. And ship to location. And there should be something called due date. Yeah. I'm entering the due date as this year ending. I'm entering the due date as this year ending. Okay, and at the line level, for the second line, we did not enter any amount or any price for the second line. So what is the price or what is the quantity? We did not enter anything at the line level. That's why at the fulfillment level also nothing it is displaying. Suppose if you enter just some 500 quantity and unit price something, some small number I'm entering unit price. Let me save it. And if I go to the fulfillment part, how much quantity I just entered? 500 quantity. So as part of this fulfillment, just maybe 100 quantity, and I will create another 5 fulfillments. Total line quantity is 500, right? But for this fulfillment, how much I entered? Just 100 only. And save it. And why we are creating the fulfillments, that you'll understand now. Suppose if you click on the notifications, and I'm configuring the notifications. I'm defining the notifications here. See, after the PO got created, please inform the buyer, and also after the PO got created, please also inform the supplier also. Please also inform the supplier. That means according to the due date that we entered, the due date what I entered end of this year. So automatically PO get created. Automatically PO got created, and once the PO got created, a notification is going to trigger to these two fellows, to the buyer and to the supplier. Suppose if it is failed also. Suppose if it is failed also, we can configure notifications. Okay. And once the PO got created, that PO number we can see from here. If you click on the purchasing activity, you can see here purchase order overview, the purchase order number and the line number, and our receipt number also. You can also see the receipt number details. Okay. So for the line number 2, for the fulfillment 1, which PO got created, that we can track from here. Okay. So direction is inbound. Direction is inbound is nothing but this fulfillment direction is inbound, right? So in case of inbound is nothing but the responsible party is we are responsible party for this fulfillment, and sometimes some fulfillments can be outbound. Outbound is nothing but supplier is responsible. Supplier is responsible for that activity. Okay. Now, if I go to parties, I'll come back to these screens again. Once again, let me finish the complete explanation. If I click on the parties, who is the customer? Customer is our company, and who is the contact person? The contact person is so-and-so, buyer. Buyer is the contact person. And then other party is the supplier. And from the supplier side, who is the contact person? That can be selected here. Okay, this is the contact that we create at the supplier level. And coming to the deliverables. So in case of deliverables, you'll see the direction also here. This is optional. If you want, you can enter the deliverables. Otherwise, it is optional to the contract. So as part of the project delivery, so is there anything that you need to deliver to your to your supplier regularly? It's a one-time delivery or a fixed delivery? One-time delivery or repetitive delivery? If it is a repetitive delivery, what is the start date and what is the end date and what is the frequency? And when you are sending that repeatedly to your supplier, repetitive delivery. In case of one-time delivery, just select one-time delivery. Okay. And responsible party here, internal and external. External means, so if it is internal is selected, internal is we are the internal person. External means supplier. Supplier is responsible for that delivery, but which is optional, and we can also configure notifications for this. And directly I'm going to the documents. Documents is nothing but before we create this contract, is there any supporting documents or previous documents that we can attach here? See, supporting documents or other any documents and revision documents. Okay, we can attach from here. And if I click on the history, this is basically approvals. If I click on the history, you can see the approvals also. So who created this contract? And what are the, suppose in case if you have modified some changes in the future, you can see the versions continuously get created. And you can also see who has modified that. This is version history. This is approval history. Okay. And finally, some notes. This notes can be public notes, or this notes can be private notes also. Private notes means that is visible to only the contract author. If you enable private checkbox, whatever you enter here, that is visible only to the contract author, not to everybody. So if you disable it, the comments that you are entering here, it is visible to everyone. Okay. After that, I'm saving, and we can download this contract into a PDF document. From the actions, you can click on the preview button. Something is happening. On the top, you see okay, so PDF document started downloading. Okay. Those are the terms and conditions which got printed. Okay, and so there are, I'll explain you a couple of options here. Send for legal review and send for risk review. Okay. So these terms and conditions and these contracts are prepared by the buyer in the companies. Okay. And the buyer is gonna work with different parties here. The buyer is gonna work with your the buyer works with your legal team, the legal team, and the risk management team also. Okay. And with the supplier and with the requester team also. Okay, who requested for this product or for this thing. So the buyer works with all these departments and he's going to create a contract finally. So once the contract is created, we can configure approvals for this contract also. So that approvals, I'll show you where to configure. And before submitting for the approvals, you can send this for the legal review and you can send it for the risk review. Okay. So normally every company is having a legal team. Okay. Mostly every company, IT companies are also having a legal team, because when you get a contract from any other third party company, our legal team has to review. Okay, because they can only understand the kind of language is being used in that proposal that can be understood by the legal team only. Okay, and if you click on the validate from the actions, if you click on the validate, you can see any issues are there or not. You can just see it's throwing an issue. It's could be because of the fulfillment. We haven't created fulfillment properly. We haven't created fulfillment properly. That's why it is throwing an error. And also the error that it thrown is a supplier representative. The supplier representative seems to be not available for this supplier. Okay, that's why I just removed only that. And again, if I click on go to actions and validate. No errors, 0 errors and 0 warnings. Now I can submit for approval, but I'm also anticipating one error. Let me see, will it submit for approval or not? It's 11 seems to be. This is overall contract creation. I will open the screens again. I'll recap. Submitted for approval. We open and see. Okay. So if I click on the load button, I can see the contract which we have created. And the status is pending for approval. So I submitted this contract for approval. Okay. Now I'm going to create another contract. I'm selecting click on create contract, and I'm selecting the contract type. Same, will take the by lines only. And the contract number, some number I'm entering, and the party. And the end date. And master ordination. Okay, so clear. Till here clear, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'll take your questions while I'm explaining. So who is going to create this contract in the real time? It's not the IT team. The buyer is going to create. Okay, we just provide the training on how to use this contract module. And as IT team, we need to mostly accept approvals. Accept approvals, I don't see anything done by the IT team in this module. Only approvals we have to configure. Even terms and conditions template also they has to create. We don't create that in the real time. So this screen is also good. The contract name, contract title, this is the start date and end date, and the type of the contract, the intent, and the risk, and other terms. Is that clear? The screen also.
Yes, yes.
And line information also, hope you are clear. But you know, the way of creating this contract is different from the type of contract that you are going with your supplier. So you are going with some service or some goods or some. So based on that, we need to create the line details also. So if you are going to take a service, and you can go with the free form, and if it is item, you can go with the item based. Okay. And each line you can have a different duration also, the agreement duration for each product. I'll open every screen, and if any questions are there, please clarify. Okay. Some product I'm selecting randomly. And click on OK. And this is the supplier information. And if you want, you can enter the supplier. And the need by date. Need by date, we are actually entering in the fulfillment section. That's why I'm not entering the need by date over here. And ship to ordination and ship to location. These are our inventory ordinations.
Sir, one question. So there will not be any default operating unit here, right? Means whatever organization we select, so that will be added here.
Here you mean to say, here actually displaying all the inventory ordinations. Okay.
Okay.
All it's going to display, not related to just your contract BU. It's all related to, because we selected US, but you're able to see display and also here. Okay. It's I think UK. and this is a unit price and then quantity. You know, in some cases, you enter quantity, and in some cases you don't enter. It depends upon the contract type. Okay. And also payment terms. Any questions in the screen?
So,
No.
so the unit price is not mandatory field here, right? So
Correct.
if you look at this contract, say the same example, the bridge
Mhm.
construction. Okay,
Okay.
now there are 5 different phases. Okay.
Okay. Mm.
So we are going to add those phases as a fulfillment, right? So say
Mhm.
foundation,
Correct.
so on.
You're right. Yes.
So like you mentioned, sir, once the due date is over, then system will automatically create a PO.
Correct.
Okay. So if you compare with the blanket agreement, there we have a checkbox, right? Whether it should create
To
automatic.
create a PO, definitely you need price and quantity. Without price and quantity, you cannot able to, system will not be able to create a PO.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
You need
So
that. Mm.
so the only triggering point is that, so once the due date is over, then system will automatically create a PO based on the unit price, quantity, and item.
Correct.
Okay.
That's right. Based on the fulfillment. So this line may be having, as you understood, it's right. This line may be having multiple fulfillments, and those fulfillments automatically the PO get created upon the due date that you mentioned.
Okay. So basically, if we look at the real-time scenario, so the supplier, they will provide their invoices based on the work they completed, right? So it's the
Correct.
same example here
Correct.
that.
Yeah. You will issue a PO. You will issue a PO, and not only PO, offline we may issue from the system wise, we will issue a PO, but offline you may need to take the photos and give it to your supplier to understand how much percentage of the work has been completed. Maybe that you can attach to the PO, and you can send that PO to the supplier.
Okay, got it, sir.
Yeah. So some kind of offline work is also there. Suppose if you take the bridge construction example itself, suppose we configured foundation as phase 1, and if the supplier has to release us the payment, supplier is nothing but here government. So for that fulfillment 1, the government has to release the payment. In that case, based on the due date, automatically PO get created. To the PO, we will attach the supporting documents or supporting photos, and that is sent to the supplier. Nothing but here government. So we are going to create government as our supplier.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone clear?
So Krishna, in that case, this line 1 can be considered as a phase 1, right?
No, line 1 is not a phase 1. Fulfillments are kind of phases. So you can create multiple fulfillments for this line.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, like different phases of the bridge constructions, like for example. Okay.
Okay. So line 1 is kind of a contract to construct a bridge. That's all.
Correct.
Okay.
That's it.
It's not then in case of products, right? Let us say I have, in contract, it is, sorry, in the fulfillment, I have mentioned as 100. So these 100 can be received multiple times.
Yeah, you can receive. So here, if you mentioned in case of goods, okay, suppose, yeah, here you can mention the quantity, and this particular quantity you can receive in multiple fulfillments. Unit price, I'm just entering 1. You can go and create the fulfillments for this 100 quantity. As many fulfillments as you want, you can create. Okay.
Okay. So as and when I receive that much quantity, POs will be created.
Correct. Yeah. So I'm creating a fulfillment 1 for the line number 1, and click on save and close. And at the fulfillment level, so you have to enter the, see, this is line information. You see here, this is line information. Here you can see how much quantity that you are actually totally looking for and what is the price. And here So these details will help you to create PO automatically. These details, whatever you are entering. Okay. I'm entering here Casey Brown name. So this guy is the buyer. And whoever is a requester and ship to organization, build to location and ship to location, destination type. Okay. And this
Yeah,
is
but
line number
somebody-
1. One second. Give me a second. Go ahead with your question.
You have shown the PO, right? There it was showing only one. We can see all the POs related to this fulfillment quantity. This was my question.
Okay. Here you mean to say?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there could be multiple.
Wait a second. While creating the
Receipts.
fulfillment, let me create a multiple fulfillments right away. Okay. I'm creating fulfillment number 1 for the line number 1. And click on create another and the fulfillment I'm planning to create. Fulfillment number 2, which is for the same line. Okay. Click on save and close. Okay, so we have now 2 fulfillments. Okay, now this is line 1, fulfillment 1. In this fulfillment, I'll mention only 50 quantity. Okay, and the due date just this month end, I mentioned this month end, and other details. Okay, for the fulfillment 2, line 1, fulfillment 2, I'm mentioning the remaining 50 quantity. Good. Understood?
Yeah.
So how to create a fulfillment, understood, right?
Yes.
Any more questions?
So Krishna, what is his basically what is his question? Whether how to split the quantity between different fulfillments? Is that what his
Yeah, correct. That's the question.
Okay.
With different quantity and also with different delivery dates also kind of.
Okay.
So
Understood.
here you can total 100 quantity. I split it into 2 fulfillments and one fulfillment has to be satisfied by this month end and another fulfillment has to be satisfied by May. Okay.
Okay, understand. Yeah.
This is in case of goods. And you know the contract terms tab, right? This you understood. Contract terms. No. We will just add the template that's already available in the demo instance. I'll show you how to create a terms template. Okay.
Okay.
And the parties, it's company and supplier parties and deliverables. Not only fulfillment, maybe before the fulfillment itself, maybe every month you need to update something about the project to your supplier. Okay, maybe fulfillments like you create, let's take bridge has 5 phases of construction. For the phase by phase, you get the payment. But month by month, you have to provide an update to your supplier. In that case, you have to configure them as a repetitive deliverables. You have to mention the deliverable name, like maybe site photos. Okay, who is responsible? It's responsible party internal, nothing but the company. And it's a repetitive delivery. And it has to be fulfilled. What is the start date from February 1st onwards? Repeat on every Monday or which day? Okay. Understood?
Yes.
Till 10 year frequency every month. every month, first of every month. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What to be completed by what date?
Yeah. So that can be configured in the contract also. Yeah. And responsible party also. We are waiting for see once one work is completed and we need supplier input to go ahead with the second work. Okay, or the next work. In that case, you can also click on create button and you can create in the deliverable and the deliverable on top of the external name, nothing but supply. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And this section, you are good. Document section, supporting documents we are entering here, and then history also, which is containing the version history and which is containing the approval history. Okay, in the history, you'll see version history and you'll see approval history. Okay, and in the notes, the comments and kind of comments we can add here. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I'll quickly show you the terms template creation also. And approvals also, I'll show you. That is just an overview of the contract. Okay, what are the sections are there and what information has to be entered. Just an overview. If you, as part of the training, if you give this overview, then the buyer is able to enter the information in that respective sections, because they will be able to exactly know where to be entered, what information to be entered. You just have to tell the purpose of that. What is fulfillment and what is deliverables and how can be utilized. You have to explain it to the business users. And next, to create a terms template, first of all, we need to create all this. We have to create all this. First, we need to create a section. And next, we have to create a class type. Next, we need to create a class. And next, we have to create a folder, but folder is optional. I will show you. From the contract management, I'm not creating a contract. I'm creating a terms template. I'm going this side, terms library side, and go to the task list. And here you can see the, if you want to search for the existing classes or existing sections or and existing templates, terms template, you can search from here. So we used one template called facilities, service, and agreement, right? So I'm trying to fetch that, and this is what I used. And if I click on that, when you are creating a terms template, you can also choose this template. The terms template you use for what type of documents it is valid. Is it valid for buy lines and buy no lines? Is it valid for buy agreement lines? For which type of document type it is valid? That we can add it here. But anyway, I'll explain you. But in this terms template, if you go to the classes, you can see the 3 sections, and under each section, you will see the classes also. I'll show you how to create this terms template. Our agenda is now to create this terms template with these sections and classes. Okay. First, we will create a class now. Section. Okay, we'll follow this sequence. From the task list, I'm going to create a you see section, just click on create section. click on create section. I'm creating a section called we'll do one thing. We will take this example and we will try to create a same. Okay. General terms. The first section I'm creating general terms 1 and click on. That's it. Just enter the name and description. Click on save. And what is the next setup? Next setup is class type. Okay, the classes that you are creating, all these are the classes. Okay, the type we are creating. We are not creating a class, we are creating a type. So the type we create from which place? Setup and maintenance. We are not creating from here. We are creating from the setup and maintenance, or else you can also use the type that is already created if you want. While creating the class, where is it? While creating the class, you see the type here, the type of the class, whether it's related to payment or whether it's related to renewal or whether administration. So this class type you need to create from the setup and maintenance. You have to create this from the setup and maintenance. So this is important when you are creating a class. Okay. It's not available here. I'm navigating to setup and maintenance. The class types has to be created from setup and maintenance. From the procurement. I'm going to the procurement contracts. Is it boring, this module team? Is it boring, this module?
Yeah, little bit.
From the type. So yeah, you see here it's a lookup. So here it's created the types you see here, administration. Okay. And the class is belongs to type of the class. Okay. I'm just creating an example for our understanding. I'm creating with the same name only. Class type. Don't worry, it's not a really important module. Anyone worked on this module in EBS?
No, sir.
Yeah, it's not a those people who are lucky who worked on EBS rarely used module. Now the next configuration is I'm going to create let me see the next I have to create a class. I'm creating a class now. Click on create class. Enter the business unit name, the class you are creating for which business unit, the name of the class. I'm creating same as this. Introduction 1. And title also let it be same. And intent is you are creating this contract, this class for by purpose. And the type is just we created the type, right? Just we created the type, class type. And the section, this class is belongs to which section? We already created one section. Select that section here and enter the matter. Matter is nothing but the class information. Enter that. So as of now, let me recap what I have done. I created a section too. Later I created what? I created class type, the type, and now I'm creating the class. That's it. I just finished with 3 setups only. So section, you go to that place and enter name and description, that's it. And class type is a lookup. It's a lookup that is required when you are creating a class, because you have to choose the class type when you're creating a class. Okay. And for the section, do we have seen approvals? No. For the class type, we have seen approvals? No. For the class, approvals is there. We can configure approvals for the class, because class is important, because class is containing this matter. Correct? The class is containing this matter. So class is important. For the class, approvals is there. Okay. And even here in this demo instance, might be approvals has been configured. Right now, the status is draft, right? If you click on the submit, then goes for the approval. See here, it's submitted for the approval, this class. Okay, now I have created the class. Next is what? Folder. If you go to the task list, you can click on a folder. And a folder containing the classes. A folder is basically containing all the classes. But you know, this is not mandatory, this configuration. This is not mandatory. So you can add the classes to this folder one by one. These are all the classes that's already available in the demo instance. Introduction. And so it's nothing but grouping of all the classes into a folder. That's it. This is for our understanding only. But this is not a mandatory setup. If you don't do it also, no problem. Folder creation. Next, finally, the climax is the terms template. Please concentrate here. Next to 5 minutes. Next to 5 minutes, please concentrate here. Then you'll get the clarity. Okay. Everyone, please with me.
Okay.
Please be with me. Okay. I'm creating a terms template. I am creating a terms template. If you understand this, you will understand the procurement contract module. Please wait. Just understand this concept. Okay. I'm creating a terms template. I'm creating a BU now. Sorry, I'm selecting a BU. Just name. And I'm creating this template, terms template for what purpose? By purpose. And here I'm planning to use, let's save this. These are all description, some instructions and the language and the layout. And just click on the save button. And I want this terms template to be used only for by lines. I'm selecting only by lines. It's only used for this type of contract. Okay, only for by lines. Now, if I go to classes, we created one section, right? I'm going to add that section. What is the section name that we created?
The general one.
General terms one, correct? So this is the section and this is the class we try to create. Search for that. The displaying here. It is just a name, okay? And align it to the left-hand side and click on OK. Under this section, we're going to add the classes. You click on the plus button and we created a class called introduction 1. Correct? Search for the class and sorry. Introduction 1 I created. Okay. This is belongs to which type? This type also we created actually. Okay. And click on apply and click on OK. Like if you expand, you'll see one section under that one class. And if you click on refresh button, you'll see the matter also here. Understood? You keep on adding the sections into this, classes into this section. Like what is there next? Services. We not created services, but service class is already created. I'm searching and I'm adding. But you know how to create a class also. I just explained you. Now we will create one more section. What is the next section as per this document? Environmental and safety. Okay. Next section. I want to finish this module today. I don't want to keep it to tomorrow. That's why I'm trying to complete it. I'm searching in the classes. I should search in the section. Go to actions and add section. Click on add section. And if you want to create a new section, you can directly create from here also. Okay, I don't want to create any new section. I would like to search for the section that's already created. Click on OK. And under this section, I would like to add one more class. Go to actions and click on add class. What is the class in this section? Environmental liability and safety notification. Understood how to create a terms template? The terms template we are creating with sections and classes. That's it. Are we using any folders here?
No.
We are not using any folders here. So folders is for our understanding, just to group the classes. Is for our understanding that setup. Okay, it's not used in the terms template creation. Sir, what about numbering sequence? Yeah, that is also possible. Go to actions, and if you click on numbering sequence option, you can select the numbering sequences provided by Oracle. Numbering scheme with classes, numbering sequence without classes. I would like to go with the first one. So this is how it displays. This is section, and inside that section, these are the classes 1.1. And you can create within class, you can also add one more class also. That is 1.1.1. Clear?
Yes.
That's it. This is how we create terms template. I mean, you can also add the deliverables, but which is optional. If you add the deliverables, if you use this template under a contract, so in that contract, these deliverables get copied. So if you are using this template to a contract, what is happening? All these sections and classes are defaulted, right? Defaulted, right? Similarly, deliverables also get defaulted to the contract. That's it. And also submit button for the approval. So we can configure approvals for these three things in the procurement contract module. Approvals exist for so class approvals is there. Okay. And terms template approvals also we can configure terms template approvals. And we can configure the contract approvals. Contract approvals we can configure. So these three has the approvals. Sir, where do we configure these approvals? As I mentioned, if you ask to work on this module, our work is here only. Our work is here only. We don't create any classes. Do we create classes in real time? No, we don't create. We create a terms template in real time? No, we don't create. Do we create a contract, procurement contract in real time? No, we don't create. It has to be done by the business users only. We just provide the training to them. That's it. Okay. What about approvals? Where do we configure the approvals? This is one of the pain area, even for me also. Approvals. You know that place already where I'm navigating. where I'm navigating, team? Yeah. So unfortunately, these approvals, there is no UI to configure. You have to do it from the BPM only. You have to do it from the BPM only. Okay, I have given the task names here. I have given the task names here. This is class approvals. This is contract approval. This is terms template approval. So you can copy that, and if you paste it and search here, you will be directly navigated to that particular configuration for the approval. What happened? Terms. This is class approval, contract class approval. Okay, here I have given the name, sorry. This is the name of it. Contract class approval. So here you can configure the approvals. So right now it is been configured to, let's see what is configured right now. So it is calling an approval group right now. That means whoever got added in this approval group, they're going to approve our classes. And you see here, based on the class also, this is configured. So if it is a sell and if it is a buy. So for buy also, same approval group is there. For buy also. You want to understand the condition. The condition is very simple. Whether the class you are creating for sale or whether the class you are creating for the buy. That is the condition here. And so this is for the terms template approval, right? So let me show you this one, contract approval. If I go to contract approvals, if I go to assignee, there is only one here in this case, there are a lot of stages are there. Here you have, it seems to be, you have a lot of stages like pre-approval, approval, and post-approval. So out of all these stages, this stage is enabled. So if I open that stage, I believe you see same two rules. Yeah. So this is a rule that is created for buy and sell for both. You are creating contract for buy or you are creating contract for sell, whatever. For in both these cases, the approval goes to this particular approval. So this is what configured in the demo instance, but you have to configure here for your project. Then in that case, you should learn how to configure approvals from the BPM. It's not pretty much important. So if required, then you can explore, but I would request you to spend your time, energy on the important concepts. Okay.
Okay.
That's why I'm not going in detail in this BPM approvals. How to configure, I'm not explaining you because I want you to spend time on the important concepts and important models. What are the important models, team? Self-service procurement and purchasing. Those are very, very important. And the procurement contracts is least important module. Least important in the sense you will see very, very less projects on the procurement contracts. Okay.
Okay.
So if you can just practice on the demo instance also, it's fine. Just get some clarity, some basic idea on this module, that's it. So we have seen how to create a contract, and later to create a terms template, what is needed that we have created. What is needed? You have to create a section. Later we have to create a class, but to create a class, you should create a class type. Okay. And folder is not required for the terms template. Do we use the folder in the terms template? No, right? While creating the terms template, what we have used sections and we have used classes, only that. Next, while creating the contract, you can use your terms template. Whatever the terms template that you have created, you can use that. But our terms template has gone for the approval. You need to approve that. Then only you can use in your contract. Okay. So these are the approval tasks where we can configure approvals. And numbering sequence also we discussed. This is Oracle notes. If you want to know more about this module, if you think this is interesting and you have enough time, then I would suggest you to go to this link to read the Oracle documentation. Okay.
Okay.
Any doubts, please?
Sir, Manish here.
Manish.
I have a similar other question like how many types of approval groups are there?
There is no approval type groups.
Approval groups.
Approval groups types are not there.
Okay. I faced this
You mean
question. That's why I asked.
maybe hierarchy types or
Okay.
approval types. The question may be how many types of hierarchies are available or how many types of approvals are available. Approval groups types are not there.
Hmm.
You just go and create an approval group and you add everybody to that approval group. That's it.
Okay,
Maybe
sir.
that person has not answered you correctly or you have not listened correctly.
No, I think I listened. Approval group was the question.
Approval group types are not there.
Okay, sir.
So you create approval groups from here. Okay. If you go to approval groups, so you click on the plus button, you just enter the name. That's it.
Yes, sir. And we can add users here.
Correct. Only that's it.
I remember,
no
sir, but
types.
the question was I was confused.
No types.
Okay, sir.
You can ask him, or else at the end of the interview also, if you think the question is right, you listen properly, then you can check with them. You have asked me about approval groups types. Can you mention what are those?
Okay, sir.
You can ask him, not a problem. You can ask him. You can also cross question him. Not an issue. Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
there is one question.
Tell me.
Sir, in approvals, we are having requisition approval, purchasing approval through task, fine, and supplier negotiation.
Correct.
So when we have to come to this BPM work list?
For this procurement approvals, this procurement contract approvals.
It means that there is no navigation for that.
Yeah, no UI for this.
Okay.
So no UI for this configuration. We have to do it from the BPM one.
Okay.
And in our requisition approvals and PO approvals also, we come to this BPM place to configure approval reminder notifications. Do you remember that, Ravi?
Sir, what?
Approval reminder.
Approval reminder.
Reminders.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That we configured from which place? From the BPM only.
Yes, sir.
Not approvals, approval reminders and approval reminder escalations we configured from the BPM. Correct,
Yes.
everybody? Only for that we have come to BPM. Okay.
Yes.
I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the resume preparation session, and day after tomorrow, mock-up interview on the procurement. Okay. Hello, please respond.
Okay.
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 Mock-up interview on the day after tomorrow. Tomorrow resume preparation. So it's not a school, right? So there is no time for me to give you, sir, take up mock-up interview after 1 month or 2 months. It's not possible, right? It's not possible, right?
Sir,
Okay, team. See you tomorrow. Okay.
hello, sir.
Sir, tell me.
Here it's one query. Basically, that I'm from 48 batch. So the approximate time of batch completion of the instant and instant access. So instant access may be finished in next 20 days. So how can we extend it? So any way to
Sir, please
by
check with Padma, sir.
by the access?
Sir, please check with Padma.
Hmm?
Please check with Padma, sir, not with me.
Okay, sir.
Not with me. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, team. See you tomorrow. Okay. Manish, I
Yeah.
don't have a time because my next batch is waiting.
Okay, sir.
Already I have to start by 8:10. Already 8:40, 30 minutes delay.
Sorry, sir. I thought 8 o'clock.